Nice. Oh, crap. It's still... dang it. I deleted all this from the copy and paste, and I still put it in the description. The description of the last video. Whoops. Change that real quick. Boom. Much better. Oh, no, it's still fucked up. Jesus Christ, what the hell happened? Alright, now I think we're good.
I had to make sure I was subscribed. I am. Of course.
Yeah, you
So
gotta,
I liked the video.
you gotta be sure to slap that bell. Or slap that subscribe button.
I slammed
Or
that.
butch-
I was slamming that subscribe button. And I bonked that bell.
Yeah, what the fuck? Everyone says slap the like button and hit that subscribe button. But you
So
gotta
violent.
cunt punt that fucking bell.
You gotta slap the shit out of that
Yeah, just
subscribe
fucking
button.
kick it right in the
Just
balls.
fucking abuse the hell out of it.
Commit,
That's how we
commit
know.
domestic abuse.
That's how we know you really like us. You abuse us.
Aggressive assault against that bell and the subscribe button.
You just poor YouTube. No wonder it gives you so many ads all the time. It's so abused.
Please,
God.
please,
Please stop slapping me.
Stop slapping me. I'll give you anything you want.
I'll give you timely notifications, I swear.
I swear to God.
I promise I'll stop advertising Hero Horse to you.
I promise. You'll never see Hero Wars again.
God.
Oh my
They're
God.
so terrible.
Okay, I suppose I should transition this. Transition. Oh, the screen transition. It's a new gender now.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Here comes some trouble.
Here comes some trouble. Alright, do I have the description done right this time? I think so. It's in the podcast.
Looks good.
I suppose. Put a little space in there. And then just get ready to ramble, because
Ramble on.
that's what this podcast has been so far, really.
Yeah, it's been a good time.
It has been a pretty good time. I've quite enjoyed it. I don't know if anybody else has really enjoyed it. People haven't really given me much review.
Review us.
Yeah, review us. Whoever watches this, give us some feedback in the comments.
Yeah.
Like, tell me I'm a stinky fucker or something. I don't know. Whatever it takes.
Some kind of commentary.
Tell me I have a giant head.
I got a big head and little
and
arms.
cauliflower ears. And you're sick of seeing my big stupid face.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sick of seeing your face. Get out of here.
Anyways. Yeah, so here we are, episode 14. It's been like 8 months almost since I started doing this. I think my first one was October last year.
Yeah.
I talked about it for forever, and wasn't gonna do it, and then I did it.
Then you did it. And now we're here.
And now I'm here.
14 episodes in.
14 episodes later.
And I'm here. It's pretty cool.
It's great.
I'm grateful to be a part of this.
Yeah, I'm grateful that you're a part of it as well. I'm grateful that I got all the cool friends that I do who are willing to take part of it when they do.
Yeah, we'll have to have people over again.
Yeah. It's crazy, you know? I feel like because of the current political climate, you're kind of like rolling the dice on whether or not it's going to be a fiasco. Because I don't know. It's like people who aren't necessarily people who get like captured by the bless you.
Thank you. Ooh, sorry.
People you wouldn't necessarily see as like someone who's like super polarized. They'll like you like try and just like have a conversation with them and they'll fucking lose their shit.
Lose their minds.
Yeah.
And go crazy and then like
about stuff that you like did not anticipate.
Yeah.
And you know, you'd like to expect that most people would give you the benefit of the doubt as well, and say like assume that you aren't like saying anything maliciously, but people will like completely interpret something in a way that had nothing to do like conflating issues and all sorts of crazy things, and there's like no talking them out of it.
Yeah, people are really like polarized in their ideas anymore. It seems more so now than ever, especially because like social media and stuff really
Well, you'll find that
helps.
in things that aren't even just like.
But like the echo chamber, I really think has played a huge part in assisting the division of people.
Definitely, and in that regard, I feel like, or I'm not sure. I'm imagining you're speaking more to the like political side of things, but
Yeah.
People are like that about
Everything.
the craziest shit, like fucking sports and weird stuff.
Oh, yeah.
like everything.
Football
Religion, whether or not you're an iPhone guy or an Android guy, like it's crazy.
Oh yeah, Xbox versus PlayStation versus PC.
Yeah, seriously.
I have
mean,
an Xbox and a PC.
PC
and a
is
Nintendo
obviously
Switch.
the master race.
I mean,
just
yeah,
saying.
I spend the most time on my computer. I have a Nintendo Switch. I have a Game Boy.
Anymore, it's totally pointless to have anything other than a computer.
Yeah.
Every system is becoming a computer, but it's like specialized to just play games.
Right, like you can't use the internet, so then you have a laptop.
But now it's really funny because all of these like switches and stuff, they have browsers built into them.
They're so clunky though.
They're terrible.
They're
so you might as
awful.
well just get a fucking
Yeah.
computer. It completely
Yeah.
defeats the purpose.
Like, can I play Spyro the Dragon on the PC?
Yes,
Okay,
you absolutely
then I'm
can.
totally fine.
Emulators. You can get an emulator for everything
Yeah,
nowadays.
I was emulating the old Pokemon games a month or so ago.
Yeah, there's no point to old school game consoles anymore. In my
Yeah,
opinion.
they're kind of obsolete.
And it's
Especially because, like, for the Xbox, you cannot even play your games unless you have a gold subscription.
That was the biggest thing for me. Yeah, and for PlayStation, for the longest time, they had the PlayStation Network. You were able to play without paying for a subscription
same
fee.
with Xbox.
Now they have PlayStation Premium,
Mhm.
and you have to pay for it.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Like, I bought your $700 console. I bought the $60 game. You're gonna make me pay $120 a year for like to use the internet that I already pay for. Like I already pay for internet service.
Exactly.
The console itself isn't generating internet. Like what the fuck? Like stop.
I've tried making all of these cases and points to it as an argument to all of my friends who play console shit, and they're like, I'm tired of not having money for shit. I'd like to have this game, but I don't have any money for it. Yeah, I gotta buy that next new thing. I'm like, well, you wouldn't have to pay subscription fees if you just got a PC. Like, you buy, like, a new console, you replace your console all the time because your console breaks. You could just, like, buy a computer, and when the part breaks, fix the part.
Well, it's not even that the console breaks. It's that it's just the same thing as like with phones, like the iPhone.
Well, they will do a planned obsolescence.
Software and yeah,
that too.
I mean, my iPhone resets itself all the time now.
That was crazy with Xbox. They came out with a new Xbox One series like almost every 3 months for a while.
There was like the Xbox Series 1, the Xbox Series S, the Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
It's a racket.
I have like a white one now. I had the big original black one that came out with like the Kinect, which was useless, and I got rid of it. But then after I got rid of it, I realized that because of the IR camera, people were using it for ghost hunting.
Oh.
And then I wished that I would have kept it. Because it had, like, a people tracking feature.
Yeah, no, I forgot. Like, you could hook that up to your computer and use it for a bunch of cool stuff.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So I wish I would have had it. We could probably totally go to, like, GameStop or something.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, get one second
Or, like,
hand,
the Exchange.
Sure. Totally. Yeah, folks,
anyways,
anyone who's listening, do yourself a favor. If you're ever considering buying a console, just fucking don't.
Yeah,
because consoles suck. They're trying really hard to be an expensive version of a computer. Just build a computer. It's the easiest thing to do.
Go on to like buildapc.com or whatever, and you can like, it'll show you all the parts that are compatible and everything, and you just
the
plug
pieces
it all in.
Don't fit together if they don't work together. So like, you can't put something that isn't designed for something together.
You can't really mess it up.
Yeah, it's pretty foolproof.
Worst case scenario, you call like a local computer company guy and like he fixes it for $100 and makes your wiring all nice
and tells you
whatever.
All you had to do was push things in harder.
Yeah, and then you know, so the next time you need to build a computer,
yeah, don't be scared and push that shit in.
Force.
Yep, you live and you learn.
Don't go to Best Buy when your power button gets stuck.
Anymore, it's fucking crazy. Computers, you can get fucking 9th gen 4 gigahertz processor Pentium with probably like 32 gigabytes of DDR5 and like a 2050 graphics card, to those of you who understand. Yeah, it's pretty good. For like $500. Like a computer that's like a little bit less powerful than yours for like $500. And it's like the size of like a old school toaster. Like fucking maybe like 16 inches by like 4 inches by like 10 inches. Yeah. Fucking tiny little things.
I like the building part because I like having all the lights and the cool case and the...
It's personalized. Yeah. That's the coolest part of building a computer. It's something that you like got your hands in.
And like it took a while. Like we collected parts over a couple months.
There's something special in the art of like creating something, and it's really weird when it's something that's like really complex, like a computer. It's very gratifying to see like all the bells and whistles and fans like.
Yeah, and now we play games together all the time.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
It's pretty sweet.
And it's useful, like go on there and look at news and watch movies and stuff. Like
in the future, who knows? I mean,
I wish I would have had that thing when I was in college.
Yeah, exactly.
Like holy
you could
cow!
Use that in school.
To have that instead of like I had a MacBook. Which was great. Like, oh my gosh, that thing got me through 4 years of school. It was great, but to have that, to type my essays on that would have been great.
With the mechanical keyboard and everything.
Yeah.
The
And,
mechanical
the big
keyboard.
screen.
So there's like proof to the mechanical keyboards. Like, they're loud and people like them because of the clack and the feedback and stuff. But there's proof that people who write longer type more accurately with keyboards that have longer keystrokes. So like when you're typing on a laptop, like on a MacBook Pro, like the depth of the keystroke is like a millimeter or something.
It's super short.
But this is like, or that's like 0.1 millimeters, or centimeters, but this is like 0.8 or something.
Yeah.
And
I totally noticed that when I'm working, because
it drastically affects you.
the keyboard I have has short keys.
Yep.
And I frequently mistype with.
Yeah. Like
and,
over type A and stuff.
And like my fingers for some reason will just like miss. I don't know what the hell they do. They just freak out. They have little seizures.
It's totally a thing.
But when I type on my PC, I'm a lot more accurate. So that makes sense.
Yeah, I love these things.
Red Dragon.
It's funny.
Keyboards are great.
Psycho Alabama girl.
Mhm.
So she actually got this keyboard for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks, bitch.
Yeah. and yeah, probably the nicest thing she ever did for me. Anyways, she hated it. She hated it. She hated the shit out of it.
That's great.
I loved it so much.
Again,
I was like,
thanks,
thank
bitch.
you so much for this. I appreciate it so much. This is the coolest thing ever. Thank you.
Great.
I can't believe you got this for me. Thank you. She's like, I hate that thing. It is so loud and obnoxious.
I don't even notice it when we're typing on it and stuff. Like,
the only thing I really notice is the space bar. It's fucking clunky as shit. It's like
when I'm working, I don't notice it at all.
Uh,
Sometimes when like you're really into something and you're typing, like when you're talking to somebody, I'll notice. But when I was working,
hammering on it.
When I was working in real life, in the office or whatever, and we all had clicky keyboards, like people who didn't have clicky keyboards would complain about it. So I think there's like something specific where some people are just like automatically like attuned to like liking the clicky keyboards, and then some people it like drives them nuts. It's like the same thing with clicky pens.
Yeah.
Or like people eating loud.
I think you're right. And it's weird because they actually make specific, like, these are like purple switches or whatever. They make a bunch of different kinds of switches, and I'm pretty sure they organize them by color, and like they have different sounds or whatever.
Interesting.
I haven't really noticed it too much, but people swear that like it has a different.
Yeah. They definitely have different pitches. Yeah. Like this sounds different than a Razer keyboard. Sounds different than like a.
Absolutely.
That sounds different than like a weird, like generic round.
Yeah,
circular...
the rubber membrane. So I actually really like the rubber membrane keyboards. If I could have the feedback of a mechanical keyboard with the sound of a rubber membrane, I'd be all about it. And not all the mechanical keyboards are terrible. Like, that's not terrible.
Yeah, no, that's subtle. The Razer keyboards are super loud.
Yeah.
Like, those are, I could see those are as being annoying. Like, one of my coworkers had one of those.
Yeah.
Name started with an A. And an A. And that one kind of drove me nuts.
She's like, hey, I'm going to flex by buying the most expensive keyboard I possibly can.
I'm
no one gives a shit.
Yeah,
it's not about
what the fuck
expensiveness.
Are you doing?
This keyboard is... Anyways.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand why people are
Materialistic like that. Or brand.
like why would you brag about something's cost if it functions worse?
Same. Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna brag about anything, why wouldn't the thing that you would choose to brag about be like, look how awesome this is?
Yeah.
It's completely quiet. It is the easiest, most accurate, perfect keyboard. It has all of the hotkeys for all of the buttons, and it's super
you don't
ergonomic.
have to download
and
software.
where you don't have to
use it.
download software. Yeah, like, why wouldn't you brag about that?
Yeah.
No, like, I paid $300 for this keyboard.
Right. Ooh.
It's got a bunch of lights in it, but it's really loud and it sounds like a chainsaw.
Yeah. Like.
That's worth bragging about, I guess.
Wow. And then what happens when they obsolete the software that you had to download, and then you have to buy a new keyboard?
In fairness to Razer, they're pretty good about that
Yes.
stuff. But it's just overpriced. It's like buying Alienware. Alienware is
Right.
a Dell computer
With an alien head on
with
it.
an alien head on it. Like,
Ooh.
you can literally, in this day and age, like, you could buy a 3D printer, print the coolest fucking computer case that you can dream of out, and then put whatever you want in it, and it would cost less than a fucking Alienware computer.
Yeah.
There's no fucking point in it.
Right.
Blows my mind that people are so willing to pay for the name. It's like
Yeah.
anymore, people paying for fucking BMWs. Why would you get a BMW when you could get an electric car? Instant torque application. If you're driving in the city and
Yeah.
you're not going off-road and all of your road driving is like nice paved streets, it's all going to be nice. Pretty much anywhere you would take a BMW.
Right. You're not going to go
Like,
off-roading in a BMW.
Yeah, get a fucking electric car. I'm a fucking asshole. What do I know? I'm just rambling.
I mean, I get the I mean, I don't know.
No, it's okay. Let's move
I'm
on.
not
let's
going on
let's
and
talk
buy
about
an
another
electric
something.
car. I drive a stick shift.
Yeah.
I'm lucky that my car has power windows. My last one had crank roll windows.
I can't remember. I was reading someone's talking about taking stick shifts out of assembly because the sales on them are just not high enough.
I think it was
I
Honda.
thought it was BMW, but it might have been Honda. But nah, it can't be Honda. People love their fucking Honda stick shifts.
Right, I know.
There's no way. It's possible, but I don't know. We could let's look that up really quick. Might have been Honda talks about taking stick shifts out of assembly due to low sales counts.
You're being way too specific. We're never gonna.
Honda says Accord loses manual transmission in 2019. It only made up to around 1 to 2% of Accord sales. Stick shifts going extinct. Come on, people, drive some stick shifts.
Yeah.
It doesn't even fucking matter. Pretty soon, no one's gonna be driving cars. People, like, by the time we, like, our kids have kids, people are gonna be like, you fucking drive yourself places? Why would you drive yourself somewhere? You could just, like, type in, have the computer fucking drive you. We can sit in the back and fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. People are, like, sacrificing freedom and cool shit. They don't even realize the shit that they're fucking sacrificing for, like, the shit that they're getting. Yeah, it's cool being able to have a car that can drive itself, but I want to be able to drive myself. I want to be able to go the places that I want to go.
Right.
And there's a certain level of pride that you get in being a good driver, let alone, like, I imagine in the next, like, decade, quadcopter cars and shit like that are probably going to be a thing. or jetpacks or anything. Being a skilled pilot is going to be a fucking crazy valuable asset.
Yeah.
And definitely something worth taking pride in, I imagine.
Yeah.
People are going to be
And,
flying
like,
around like Luke Skywalker.
Like my dad said, if I can drive a stick shift, I can drive anything. There's nothing that I couldn't get into that I wouldn't be able to drive. I could drive a trailer. I could drive whatever. Motorcycle. I could figure it out
You can figure it out.
real quick.
So, that being said, like, I don't know.
I have driven a motorcycle.
There's a lot of people who can't drive a stick shift
Right.
currently who fuck that shit up all the time. And people, like, look at someone driving down the street when they're grinding their gears and they're like, God damn, that fucking idiot can't fucking drive a stick shift. Ha ha ha. That dude could probably drive a stick shift if somebody taught him. But, like, just doesn't understand. Trying to learn on the fly. No one has intellectual humility, so the guy's like, oh, I fucking got this.
And they're like,
And everyone in the situation's a fucking asshole. Oh, man. I'm just too cynical. Anyways. Yeah. I think that we should keep the manual.
yeah,
It's important
it's good fun.
for people's freedom.
Yeah. And it's an anti-theft device.
It's a great... Well, I mean...
Look at all the, like you just said, not a
I'm
lot
saying
of people know
we
how
need
to
to get
drive it.
more people to know how to drive it, and it won't be a good anti-theft
Yeah.
device when more people know
But
how to drive it.
currently, it's a great anti-theft device.
Well, it won't be if I have anything to say about it.
Okay, well, yeah, me too.
People will be driving their flying cars with electric quantum engines, but they'll be using a standard... Oh, hang on, I gotta shift it into first.
Jeez. We're hitting turbulence.
We're
Gotta
going into plaid.
downshift.
I got a downshift from plaid into fucking pinstripe. So fucking stupid.
Did you pop the...
I did. The whatchamajigga. Yeah, this is crazy. Would you have imagined that in, like, or 5 years ago, in 5 years, you'd be smoking weed legally in Pennsylvania? Like, times have changed. I can't even remember. When did
Let
PA
me
put its
see.
green card, law into effect?
I think it was like 2018.
Yeah, I think you're right. But anyways,
5 years ago, I wouldn't have seen myself doing a lot of the things I'm doing right now.
Would you have imagined where we are in this political climate 5 years ago? When was that? 2019? What was happening in 2019? That
Holy
was
shit!
just pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID. Let's see. I was still in my internship at the drug and alcohol rehab, and I was still in undergrad. This was 2019,
This is a good
and
shit.
Trump was president.
He was just going out.
Yeah, and Biden was going in, and the insurrection hadn't happened yet,
Yeah, that was...
because this was in 2019.
Yeah.
So we weren't sure who was going to win the election.
That fucking kosher kush. It's a classic.
Would I have imagined politically we'd be where we are now? No. I definitely wouldn't have thought that Donald Trump would have been attempted assassination. That kind of blows my mind. I wasn't...
Oh wait. Say that again. Donald Trump would have been attempted.
I wouldn't have thought
There
that...
would have been an attempt at
Yeah, I
assassinating
never
Donald
thought
Trump.
that... Yeah, I never thought that somebody would have actually had the balls
here
to
we
do
go.
it.
We're going down this
Yeah.
avenue.
It's terrible. Like, when he was president, I was never a fan of him. I felt like it was kind of just like at that point, I kind of felt like the candidacy was like just a popularity contest. And like it didn't matter anymore. So I wasn't a huge fan of him.
Park on the grass.
But it went out.
Oh man.
But
I got this.
I'm busy talking. But I never
Well, this is important. We gotta have our priorities.
thought that he was deserving of violence or attempted assassination or anything of the sort.
Or anyone should attempt at to assassinate.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't.
Words. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. What happened was totally wrong. Nobody should have. Don't fucking shoot people.
So. I feel like this is what you fucking get. Like, I don't know who you supported, but like, if you supported any of the dominant left figures or dominant figures of the Democratic Party specifically, not like popular left figures. There's tons of people on the left that don't support Biden, but like most of them are not outspoken. You can get them to say boo about fucking Biden. But like all of those people who don't say boo about Biden and say that Trump, you fucking say for fucking 10 years or more that Trump is a threat to everyone's lives, national security, and democracy, and America, and you think that some fucking 20-year-old disenfranchised, disillusioned youth isn't gonna try and get his name in the history books? Like, trying to save everyone from this perceived threat to everyone?
Yeah.
Like, you don't think that's the ultimate outcome of that?
Right.
What other outcome is there?
Yeah.
Like, say what you will about the right and their fucking ad hominem fucking nonsense and their blanket statements and their bullshit. Like, at worst, they were rude to Joe Biden and said he's a stupid, sleepy, poo-poo head, poo-poo, stinky poo-poo face.
Yeah, what Joe Biden said about Trump and he needs to be put in a bullseye.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Yeah, he's backpedaling. They're backpedaling
and then he
on
was
everything now.
He was like, that was a mistake. And then he was
Poor
like,
choice of words.
I didn't say he needed to be put in crosshairs. Like, nobody said that you said that. Nobody's saying that. Like, the fact is you said he needed to be put in a bullseye, which is something that you shoot at. So, like,
yeah,
you were kind of inciting violence. You need to actually apologize for it. What he said at that press conference, I would not accept that as an apology. Like, he was trying to deny that he ever said anything. I think. And, like, I'm registered as a Democrat, like, and I don't agree with anything that they're doing right now. I think the whole situation is fucked up.
It's what disgusts me is that people are instantly willing to dismiss it as a hoax and say it was all made up. It's a total joke, a total farce used to drum up support. Yeah. Like, imagine if Biden was shot at.
Oh my god!
What do you think would happen if Biden was shot at? If the shoe was on the other foot, people would be burning the cities down. Yeah. I imagine the last. I can't say the last time a Democratic official was shot at, cities were burnt or whatever, because that it hasn't happened since Kennedy, really.
Right.
But the constituents of the Democratic Party, the people that the Democratic Party, the DNC, have tried to target demographic-wise for their votes, for their voter base, acting like they're the civil rights party, the party that champions racial justice and champions trans rights and shit like that. Those are the same people that took over Seattle Capitol Hill and created the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone and fucking we're burning LA and Detroit and New York and shit.
Right.
Chanting like, what do we want? Dead pigs. When do we want it now? All that shit. Like,
and it's important to remember that there's extremists on both sides.
Yeah.
But it's like the Democratic Party, like it just seems like
it's
all
a total
of a sudden,
it's a total double standard.
Yeah.
They act like they.
It seems like in my interactions with people, it's like they're more the upper, like the more accepted, I guess. I don't know.
Accepted and...
I don't know. I don't really know what I'm trying to say.
I feel like they always feel... They're party...
like the martyrs.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, they are the party that champions, like, civil rights and stuff like that. They are... Well, not even just non-profits, just moral, ethical beliefs. Like I was saying, they're like, oh, we're the party of, like, civil rights and, like, equality and individual liberties and blah, blah, blah. But, like, they, like, really are very violent and very hateful. And they want to be in charge of everything. And they want people like Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden to make up all the rules, to control everything, but they don't want anyone to be in charge. It's really weird, because it's like, speaking out of both sides of their mouth, they want to be in charge of themselves, but they want this person to be in charge of everything.
There's like double standards.
It's weird. And if you don't agree with them, they're like, I believe in this party because we're the party of not being racist. And you're like, well, I'm this party, and I also agree that racism's wrong. And they're like, oh, well, you're not part of my party. That means you're racist. And that being said, make no mistake, I don't support Donald Trump at all. Like, he is, in fact, a convicted felon.
Right.
He is, in fact, a convicted felon. However, I'm not even sure I understand any of that fucking nonsense. Every time I try and look into that, I don't fucking get it at all. He paid someone to pay Stormy Daniels hush money. So he committed fraud when he lied about his campaign funds to pay this guy money to pay Stormy Daniels. Mm-hmm. So he committed 2 crimes by doing that. Mm-hmm. But what was the hush money about? What was he trying to keep her quiet about? I've never been able to find that.
The fact that he slept with her.
Who cares? That's not illegal.
His wife, I guess, and like
still
I don't
not
know.
Illegal.
People,
I don't like it, but it's not against the
right,
law.
But like when you're trying to gain the favor of American people who like traditionally are like, oh, we're for
but it's not
values.
Like it's a secret anymore. Like, why would he? Like,
yeah.
First
now it's not.
First
a
off,
secret.
it's not illegal to do that. Second off, it's not illegal to give her money to tell her to keep quiet. Or not even to tell her.
But
just
it's illegal for him to use campaign funds to pay her hush money to do that.
That's illegal.
Yes, that's what he did.
Now that I completely agree with.
Yes.
That he should be indicted on all counts of. But like on top of those issues, looking at the classified documents shit, like the illegal, like the documents he wasn't supposed to have at his place.
Yeah.
That's literally the same shit
Joe
Biden did.
Yeah. Totally.
Like, I don't see any difference.
They did the same fucking thing.
I don't see any difference between the two situations.
Nope, they did the same thing.
Like, they're both, and I don't for a second doubt that every president before them, since George Bush Sr. also did the same thing, and probably Reagan and Carter, and probably before that even, probably back to Nixon. I bet if people investigated his place before he got impeached, they'd probably find all sorts of shit at his place.
Didn't they with like the Watergate scandal and stuff?
I can't remember exactly what that was. I've read about it a bunch of times, but I've forgotten. Because I'm stupid. There's too many fights to fight. As I'm learning about one thing, I'm forgetting about another. Unless I'm reading about it all the time. If I was able to quit my job and read all the time, like I'd love to do, and know things, I'd totally do that instead. If anybody wants to pay me to just know things and be a master historian, I'll be a politician.
A clerk or whatever, a scribe.
Yeah. No more judges will be appointed. All judges will be elected. They'll all have term limits. All senators will have shorter term limits. None of them will have secret
I feel like people should be protected, especially after...
Well, here's the thing. I don't think being a senator... It depends on what kinds of things you're involved in your state.
Right, and the thing is, people are crazy. Like,
senators don't need federal health care. They'll get state health care for life. They can do that. I'm sure. Like, they don't need the federal dollar. But like, there needs to be fewer of them. There needs to be regulation. There's too much. There's not enough power of the individuals in the community, and I think that's what makes a strong community. I think that's what makes a community strong, is strong individuals in the community. Not just people coming together, but people that people look to and aspire to be like. And there's not many of them. People are misguided and look to role models like fucking Jake and Kendrick and fucking think that they're fucking role models. I don't know who they are. I just they're rappers.
Oh.
And I just know that recently they were beefing. I don't know anything about it.
Oh!
I heard about it, and people reference it all the time. I don't really know much about
Somebody
it.
said something about it.
But they're role models.
Yeah, someone said something about it at the gym yesterday, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's, yeah. It's terrible is what it is.
Right. Who cares?
People... And people look up to like people like Terrence Howard now, just like on a whim. They don't look into anything of what he says after he said it. They like take everything he said on a whim because he's challenging the mainstream, and they're like, that dude's onto some shit.
Yeah, man,
like,
that's so fucking cool.
He's on the next
edgy.
level. Like, no. It's great to have ideas. It's not great to have no intellectual humility.
Yeah.
You need to be open-minded to the idea that you're wrong and care more about what is right than being right.
Yes.
And dude's like, I'm gonna kill their god. They're trying to suppress me. They're trying to keep me down right away.
Because 1 × 1 is 2.
And then he's like backpedaling at the end of all of his dialogues on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't actually mean 1 × 1 = 2. It's a metaphor. It's like, well, it's wrong. You need to use a different statement to describe your metaphor. I understand what he's trying to say. He's trying to explain that, like, you should try and think of the established norms in a new light, and the conventional beliefs, even on a simplistic basic level, are possibly incorrect, and they need to be reassessed. That's great. I understand that. Don't necessarily disagree with that in all cases.
However,
I totally disagree that 1 times 1 equals 2.
yeah, you can't say that the truth is a lie when it's the truth.
Yeah.
Like,
Because if you're willing to die on that hill trying to get people to get on board with you, you're going to lose a lot of people in the argument.
yeah.
And I don't necessarily think he's a bad guy.
No.
I've met a lot of people like him in my life, but it's hard to have conversations with those people unless you can get them to just level with you, because he's trying to take mathematics into like a matter of philosophy and like a spiritual level and stuff, and like
Yeah.
talking about like there's a lot of cool things you can do with like phase resonance technology, and I've talked about that before. Like, that's the fucking shit that like Star Trek synthesizers technology is built off of. Like, you can say cheeseburger and some lights go boop and it makes a cheeseburger. Sounds
like
fucking
Wonka vision.
It sounds awesome. And that stuff is real. And I've seen all sorts of people trying to tear Terrence Howard apart on YouTube and stuff, saying like, oh, like, you can't conjugate a wave. Like, that doesn't even make sense. That's totally wrong. And these videos get like millions and millions of views. And these people are fucking stupid. I realize I might not have a ton of fucking followers and have like an audience, but at least I'm not that fucking dumb.
That's the
Like,
truth.
Like, I'd rather have no viewers and be a total skeptic and be as smart as I am and be that fucking idiot who's just like opinionated. It's just like, I've got everything fucking figured out. I don't have everything figured out, but I know you can fucking do cool shit to conjugate waves with like cymatics and light. Like, I'm pretty sure wave conjugation is what cymatics is built off of, where they pour that sand on like the sheets and put it over a speaker.
Like a subwoofer.
Yeah, and they'll like play certain tones and frequencies.
Makes shapes.
And it makes shapes
Patterns.
and patterns. Hell yeah. I got super bad dry mouth. I gotta go get another Truly.
Will you grab me one?
Oh, sorry.
You're the best.
We should take a break really quick. Fuck this
Okay.
shit. We're gonna do that.
We're gonna take a break.
It's break time. Oh, here we go. Put on some tunes for a second. We're both here.
Here we are.
Here we are. And there we go. Oh God. It's going nowhere fast.
We're great.
It's going nowhere fast. I'm sorry, folks. It's a good thing you're here.
Listen,
The show would be going absolutely nowhere. So where were we? It's all a big conspiracy.
Oh, yeah, that's ridiculous. I have
Or something like that. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I have a friend who lives near there.
So, everyone's all skeptical. Well, there's all this Secret Service around there. How did they not fucking stop him? Well, I want to explain it to anybody who watches this in the future. We're probably maybe less than 100 miles away from Butler. So we know PA pretty well. People around here like their guns. And I guarantee you that someone at that rally probably had a fucking sidearm on them. And if anybody, like, one of the biggest arguments for having, like, people be allowed to carry weapons is not just protecting themselves, but also protecting the community. Like, if everybody has a gun and one criminal pulls out a gun, everyone's going to shoot that criminal. Everyone sees this sketchy-ass dude. Well, I guess they reported him multiple times. So, like, this is now, 2 days after the shooting? So, like, a bunch of stories are coming out now.
Yeah.
Where everyone, like, there's apparently, like, stories that where, like, the sniper who shot him had been interviewed and stuff, and they say he had been told in his earpiece to hold off on taking the shot while he had the dude in his sights multiple times for a long time.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if there's authenticity to that.
Yeah,
There's
right.
so much lying. There's literally a guy on TikTok who's not Thomas Crooks, the name of the kid who got shot.
He's like
and killed.
impersonating him.
Yeah, directly impersonating him, and he's like, "You got the wrong guy," and it's
It's so fucked up. Like, people are so fucked up.
people are going out of their way.
Like, somebody died. Like, someone died and somebody was critically injured. Like, someone's family member died.
So one of the biggest things that one of the biggest things. Anyways, something crazy I saw. This fucking old dude walking down the beach getting interviewed by this guy. He's like asked all these questions, and one of the questions is, what do you think of the assassination Trump or attempt on Trump? And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's all a stage, it's all a ruse." And the interviewer's like, "Well, you know, someone was injured and another person died as well from this."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh," or the old man says, "Oh, it's all nothing to Trump. You think he wouldn't kill? I totally wouldn't put it past Trump to kill someone in the name of gaining supporters and shit like that." Now, what makes you think that Biden wouldn't? Like, the Clinton Foundation is off to multiple fucking people.
Right. Oh, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking, like, hang on. I can't remember all the stories. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna need actual proof of this.
Yeah.
This is
Clinton
going
Foundation
into some
murders.
weird territory.
Here we go, folks. Here, I'll do a screen share.
This
We gotta
is a
get into this
conspiracy
shit.
theory.
This is, I guess
Clinton body count conspiracy theory.
Oh, god damn it.
Haiti leader's assassination reawakens Clinton
to say they shot someone with a shotgun. Yeah, there's all sorts of ties to it. Treat yourself. But leave it to say, nonprofit, because of things like that, I feel like nonprofits should be illegal. Like I said, there's too many fucking fights to fight. There's too many things to remember. If I could be a stand-up comic, if I could just wrestle all day like Joe Rogan and be a fucking meathead and not have to give a fuck about life. No offense to Joe Rogan.
I think Joe Rogan gives a lots of fucks about life.
No. I think he absolutely does. But I think
he's financially secure.
I think he has lived a completely different upbringing than I did. From the sounds of it, had a hard upbringing, had shitty parents and shit like that, but like managed to overcome things through like people he met and like something that he was able to apply himself to. Like I applied myself to music and like I'm probably never gonna be in a band ever again. Fuck that noise. That shit's for the birds. I'll jam with friends and stuff like that. I got a couple good friends who I jam with every once in a while, but like playing in a band is like herding cats. Everybody's got their own opinion and shit. Maybe if the world changes a little bit, I'm trying to be the change that I want to see.
Ooh, getting all Gandhi up in here.
No, I'm getting all fucking Michael Jackson-y. The fucking man in the mirror.
Oh.
I'm telling him to change his ways. Anyways.
I see.
Shit's fucking crazy. I hate to say it, but I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. And I'm amazed that it didn't, because there's a reason why, like, the Pope has a Pope box. Because, right. Like, these people go to these conventions where there's fucking 20,000 some odd fucking people. Dude, when my dad was a kid in the 1960s, teenagers were telling him stories about how they would go to other places and falsify voting records and try and throw off votes and stuff. It was fucking crazy. It's nothing new. This shit's been going on for forever.
It's just crazy that people like lose sight of the fact that like we're people, and I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. To assume that it's the worst it's ever been, I don't think it is. But like, this is nothing new. This could have happened for forever. People were like, if people were willing to go and falsify voting records, all it takes is one fucking radical lunatic to be like, I'm gonna go to a fucking convention and bring a pistol and fucking just walk up to the front row, and that's all he really had to do. He didn't have to sit on a roof with an AR. It's easy to walk around Pennsylvania with a fucking pistol.
Yeah, but if they had metal detectors and stuff, he would have had to get.
I wondered about that.
Because they had metal detectors to get into the event. So
he had to post up long range.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I was hoping you had more context.
I got you, baby.
And, yeah. So, well, then he definitely had to go long range. But I'm still surprised no one just investigated it.
Yeah,
like, if I was there and I saw the guy, I would have walked closer and used my phone to scope him out.
They had him on their radar from what I read because he was acting weird around like the metal detectors, and then
I read that
they saw him the day
times.
before like using a like whatever the fuck to
rangefinder.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. and they think that he got into the building through like the air conditioning duct.
Through the inside of the air conditioning.
Yes, yeah, that's how he was getting up and out.
Damn.
And that's how he avoided the police, because the police, Butler's Allegheny County, I think, or no, the Butler County Police, they were stationed inside there. So I think there was Butler and Allegheny County Police were both around there. And they were stationed inside there, so he must have avoided them by crawling through the air conditioning ducts.
He would have had... I mean, that makes sense because he would have been in cover the whole time getting up into there.
Yeah.
Otherwise...
So they were looking for him, but they couldn't
woodchuck
find
gun
him.
Probably would have drove by with his truck and been like, that dude's kind of suspicious.
Right, yeah. Or, like, they would have seen him going into the building and be like, Bud, you can't be in here.
Yeah.
Like... So it's like, it's not that people weren't trying to find him, it's that he was well hidden, and like the dude was super skinny, like...
Skinny like me. Dude's fucking lanky.
He was thinner than you.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a pretty gaunt looking fucking weirdo.
Yeah, and I mean...
Just look at him!
Dude...
He had some pretty crazy chin action going on. He was like...
He had a wicked forehead.
Cro-Magnon. Anyways, I don't want to be disparaging of the way he
Yeah. It's crazy.
What's really crazy is that someone got...
It's terrible that somebody died.
Multiple people died, yeah. They got radicalized enough to think that this was the only solution, like, available.
Yeah. And, like, his poor family has to fucking deal with the mess that he made.
Right, they're like, I had no idea, I have no idea what to say.
Yeah, they're probably like... I haven't looked into it, but I can only imagine that they're clueless, because I saw that, like, in neighbor interviews and stuff, they were so confused, like, and didn't suspect anything. Like, nobody really suspected anything.
My favorite is watching the fucking people, like, CNN and MSNBC, like, when it first happened, they tried to play it off like Trump falls on stage and then quickly rushed off by Secret Service. Yeah. He didn't fall, he got fucking shot. Yeah. Fucking call it what the fuck it is.
After loud noises, he was brushed
It's
briskly.
Fucking gunfire. Like, call it what it fucking is. Fucking pussyfooting around, like, shit.
Holy shit.
Goddamn cowards. They wonder why nobody fucking trusts them at all.
Yeah. At least with X, like, people upload, like, real shit and...
in real time and first-hand accounts.
Yeah.
Like,
and with hashtags and stuff, it's pretty easy to find topics.
Yeah.
It does have its advantages, for sure.
It'll be pretty crazy. Eventually, that'll be something where, like, 100 people will have, like, glasses or contacts or something where what they're watching, all of them will directly upload this to X. So it won't be like one AI makes a misleading video and tricks 1 million people. It'll be 1 million people will have irrefutable video evidence of something.
Like, people will constantly be live streaming.
Hopefully you can turn it off.
Or have the option to constantly be live streaming.
Yeah, I mean...
people will constantly be recording.
So here's the thing. I don't think...
That's like BMI Starset shit.
I don't think that will be something that will be fully integrated into you unless you want it, because people are too tricky.
Yeah.
People are just too tricky. If you really want to, you'll fucking... just EMP the shit out of yourself, and then everything inside of you that's electronic will shut off.
Yeah.
And then you won't have to worry about it anymore. Like, there are certain ways around things.
the problem is with those, they probably, well, in the world of Starset, like, they have integrated, like, fail-safe things.
Yeah, things like, oh yeah, it'll fucking like stab you in your brain to death if you fucking try to turn it off.
Yeah, instant supplication.
Well, don't get that model.
What if you don't have a choice?
Well,
what if it's a like weird, crazy dystopian?
Do you really? So here's the thing. I don't think anybody will willingly get something that they have to have or else.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people will die in America if it comes to that.
Yeah.
A lot of people will die everywhere if it comes to that.
Right. That's true.
Because, I mean, that's the idea of AI. Like, everyone's trying to fight against AI. Nobody would want a human to be in control any more than an AI or something.
Right.
Let alone over their bodies.
Yeah.
But, like, putting a contact lens into your eye that gives credible, like, video, like record of, for instance, like a killer on a roof or something, that's worth having. Like, to know that nobody's like tricking you, or like an AI is misleading, like saying like, oh, this Trump shooting wasn't real, because people in California are probably like, Butler doesn't even exist.
Yeah, right. They're probably like,
that
what
place
the
is
fuck
a fairy
is
tale.
Butler is where Zippo lighters are made.
Right? Or that's not Bradford?
Oh fuck, it is Bradford.
It is Bradford.
God damn it. I ran cross country in both of those places.
Yeah.
I get them confused.
Butler's a cool place though. It's a giant fucking valley.
Yeah.
It's a lot like Pittsburgh. But it's like suburbs.
Yeah. It's got a lot of it's got some problems though. Like there's a lot of abandoned buildings there and stuff from last time I drove around there. I was there maybe like 5 months ago.
I haven't been
There
there.
was a lot of
years.
abandoned buildings.
Really?
Yeah.
That sucks.
It was kind of sad. Yeah.
I imagine
It's
COVID
kind
made
of
it hard.
Yeah, that, and like it used to be, I'm pretty sure it was like an oil
It was like a
town.
manufacturing town or something.
Mhm.
All the places
Yeah.
moved out.
Yeah, and then it just kind of got.
Yep.
So there's a lot of blight.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like, depending on what area you're in, you're just like at risk of getting shot, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
In Butler?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
God damn.
Yep.
Well, makes sense then.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Yeah.
Damn, that sucks.
I know, right?
I feel like a lot of America is coming to that, but like people just
But it's like all in who you
we're
know, too.
we're going full darkness tonight. It's a dark night
Yeah, I guess.
on the Positive Podcast.
Well, you gotta get through all this shit.
No, yeah, that's the truth. We said it on another podcast. Fucking sometimes you gotta talk about some fucking hard shit to be positive. Sometimes, yeah. But yeah, fucking I think I've been saying a lot of this stuff about violence, racism, certain things being true, certain things not being true and stuff. Like different ideologies of like other countries, like foreign countries, for instance, who don't have like military power, not being able to, or not even foreign countries, just like military organizations, terrorist organizations like Al Qaeda. They don't have millions and millions and millions of tanks or jets or fucking aircraft carriers or battleships. How do you fight a war against that if you're a terrorist organization? You do it very innocuously, like with very clandestine operations, and you, in the best ways, do it through like ideology, like wage war in an ideological manner, and just like try and convert people to your cause. A lot of those people are like martyrs. Like you hear military officials talk about insurgent math. They're like, what's 10 minus 1 or something like that, and they say a lot of people will answer 9. Well, no, it equals 20 because you killed one, but you radicalized like his brother and his cousin and his dad and his uncle to fight along that cause now to try and kill you because you killed him. And
whoa,
it's crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of wow.
So a lot of these terrorist organizations will grow really rapidly through just causes. Like, one person has something terrible happen to them, they do something terrible, and then that organization does something terrible, and then the next terrible thing happens, and then it's just kicking the fucking can down the road. But I can't remember how I got started on this fucking path. But
organizations and
they'll wage war ideologically. Yeah. Well, like small organizations.
yeah.
Crap. I can't remember how I got on this path.
Fuck. With like Al Qaeda, and it's easier to wage war with ideology when you don't have tanks and stuff.
Oh, in regard to like violence and things like that, I try and say these kinds of things happen all the time, and it's a serious issue, and I try and bring these things up, things like that, or just things like gun violence, things like the cartel, which is a huge issue in the Southwest and on the southern border and stuff. People are like, oh, that's not an issue, but it's like a bigger and bigger issue every day until people like aren't able
to say anything about
to
it
avoid
anymore.
it. And you're just fucking whistling past the graveyard, and people will lie and try and pretend like you're mischaracterizing serious issues. Like, I don't agree with the CDC with how they dealt with COVID. I don't agree with Biden with how they dealt with COVID. I don't agree with the COVID mandate that everyone had to get boosters and had to get a card and had to do all this crazy licensure bullshit. It's fucking nonsense. Tons of people lost their jobs for simply questioning it. It was absolute fucking nonsense.
It was crazy.
It was total fucking bullshit is what it was.
Yeah.
But like, you can't even question it. God damn, I'm fucking all over the place. These fucking Trulies are hitting me hard. Little fucking cute white girl drinks are knocking me on my ass right now.
Well, we haven't drank in a while.
That's not true.
It's
4th
been
of
a
July
couple
was
weeks.
just like the other day.
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks.
Anyways, cartel's an issue. People think that shit doesn't happen. People think you're just trying to whistle past the graveyard. and then they mischaracterize you, just like questioning things if you just don't agree with them. Like it's weird when people are willing to choose when they do agree with you that something is or is not an issue, because like they're like, COVID is a huge issue, but the cartel isn't.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, you'll be like, I totally agree, COVID is a huge issue. I'm not gonna get a shot again. You can't make me do it. Not gonna fucking happen. I already got COVID. Granted, it was a while ago, but like, I'm not gonna get another shot. My body's been exposed to it. I'm not gonna get more boosters. Fuck you. There's been way too many complications. Comorbidities are up like astronomically, and it's so fucking stupid, because the same argument people use for saying that people were dying from COVID and people were not characterizing deaths caused by COVID as COVID, you could say the same with the vaccine. They're like, oh, people are saying people are dying from pneumonia and stuff, or one thing or another, but they had COVID, so they were completely fine, but what killed them was COVID. And you could say the same thing with the vaccine, where they're completely fucking fine, but they got the fucking vaccine, and then they fucking died.
Yeah. So when I worked in a hospital, when people that I saw died, I worked there during COVID, and generally it was people tested positive for COVID, and then like COVID affects you by attacking your lungs, and like you get a whole bunch of like mucus buildup, and like you can't breathe. And so all of that mucus and shit, your COVID infection might go away, but that lung infection remains, and that is the pneumonia at that point. So you have COVID-19 pneumonia, which is like long COVID, and that is what kills people.
So isn't COVID-19 what you...
COVID-19 is the virus. It causes pneumonia, I guess.
No, coronavirus is the virus that causes it.
Yeah.
COVID-19, I thought, if I was reading correctly, way back when, was like it's like coronavirus disease 19, which is a symptom that you get from corona. No.
Coronavirus is a type of virus. There are several...
Yeah, coronavirus.
Yeah.
But COVID...
19.
That it's an acronym.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Coronavirus disease.
Yeah.
And the disease is
19.
the pneumonia that you get from it, isn't it?
No.
Am I
that's
not
just
correct on
the
that?
that's just this specific virus that causes this illness that was discovered in 2019.
Yeah, okay. Right on. That makes sense.
That originated from wherever.
Yeah.
It supposedly originated from.
And that's fucking a crazy story. What do you think happened there? What do you think happened?
I don't know. At this point, I don't... At this point, I was just gonna say, like, I don't think it matters, but at the same token, it totally matters for all of the people who died from it, and all of the people who have family, who've lost family, who died from it. Hopefully, it was just a freak accident and was, like, transferred from an animal market in China.
Hopefully it was.
Hopefully it was
trans. Hopefully it was just trans. Wearing a rainbow mask and cat ears.
Yeah, and then, I mean, worst case scenario, it
With
was...
double D tits and a neck beard.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Yeah, it's a bat furry.
I'm scared by violence, but I'm sad he missed.
Yeah, that
How
person
about that
was
fucking
terrible.
shit? That's fucking terrible. These fucking people are such hypocrites.
But let me finish what I was saying.
Sorry.
Before I forget what I was saying. At the same time, it would be terrible if it was like a bioengineered like weapon of mass destruction built in a lab, because a whole bunch of people died and like people are still suffering from it. I had COVID two times, and it was terrible both times. It was awful.
You know, there's like all sorts of evidence. It was like gain of function research.
So it's basically like the Lyme disease.
That was, it was done at a facility that was paid for from a subsidiary that was owned by Anthony Fauci. And it was done with like really shady fucking standards.
Oh. Uh-oh. Here goes some trouble.
Time to look it up. Let's check it out.
COVID-19 origin.
These little white girl drinks are fucking kicking my ass.
Yeah, me too. And I'm a little white girl. Be able to handle them.
God. Got me in a mess.
Boop, boop, boop. Whoa. China.
I wonder what kind of labels I'm gonna get on this one this time. Or disclaimers or whatever. COVID-19, blah blah blah, was actually created from cow farts.
Oh,
which
wow.
are actually the leading cause of global warming.
Unclassified government document I found. After examining... Okay, so this is fucking crazy. Holy shit. After examining all available intelligence reporting and other information through the IC remains divided... Though the IC remains divided on the most likely origin of COVID-19, all agencies assess the two hypotheses are plausible: natural exposure to an infected animal and a laboratory-associated incident. 4 IC elements and the National Intelligence Council assess with low confidence that the initial SARS-CoV-2 infection was most likely caused by natural exposure to an animal infected with it or close progenitor virus, a virus that probably would be more than 99% similar to SARS-CoV-2. These analysts give weight to China's officials' lack of foreknowledge, the numerous vectors for natural exposure, and other factors. One IC element assesses with moderate confidence, that the first human infection with SARS-CoV-2 most likely was the result of a laboratory-associated incident, probably involving experimentation, animal handling, or sampling by the Wuhan Institute of Virology. These analyses give weight to the inherently risky nature of work on coronaviruses. Analysts at 3 IC elements remain unable to coalesce around either explanation without additional information, with some analysts favoring natural origin, others a laboratory origin, and some seeing these hypotheses as equally likely. Variations in analytic views largely stem from differences in how agencies weigh intelligence reporting and scientific publications, and intelligence and scientific gaps.
It came from the lab.
Yeah. So 4 said low confidence that it was caused by natural exposure. 1 said moderate confidence human infection with laboratory associated incident, and 3 said they weren't sure, it could be either or. So it seems to be in favor of
More
lab,
bent in favor of lab.
but too afraid to come out and say it was in a lab.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
I told you.
That just blew my mind.
Yeah, this dude got Biden to print all sorts of fucking paychecks for him by making people say you have to take this fucking vaccine. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Making it rain.
Wow.
And that's not even the only one that they're fucking making. They're making all sorts of other ones. They're like updating vaccines regularly.
All the time there's RSV,
Yeah.
there's COVID, pneumonia, shingles, the flu shot.
Mm-hmm.
There's all different variants
Yeah.
of those. I've
Yeah.
gotten 4 COVID shots, but I'm not gonna get any more. Like,
I got 3 and I got sick as fuck. There's no point to
yeah,
it.
after we got sick the last time, I'm not getting any
There's
more.
no point to it. I got arguably as sick as I've ever gotten in my life, if not the second most sick as I've ever gotten. The shots didn't do me any good.
Yeah.
I was well within my immunized timeline
Yep.
after having taken my boosters.
Yeah.
Completely fucking pointless. And these were companies that I had invested in and researched and stuff. Total garbage. And I wonder if there's ever going... You ever think there's going to be like... I can't remember what... there's like a investigation that's like sponsored on CNN or something like that by Pfizer, and it's like James Cohen or something like that. You think there's ever going to be an investigation of Pfizer on there on CNN? Like, CNN would be the place. Like, they're always arguing about how like the press and the legacy media are the fucking truth.
I feel like...
That's what Don Lemon says.
Yeah. I don't know.
They're gonna hold people accountable. How will you know what's the truth? That's what those people are there for. They're there to help the people, give you unbiased opinions.
That's what they say. But it's the Clinton News Network.
Yeah. It might be.
That's what CNN stands for.
No, it's Central. No, it's not. No, it's like Central News Network.
No.
What? Clinton News Network?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. I'm telling you. I just blew your mind.
Cable News Network.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. We're both wrong.
We're both wrong.
Yeah, no, it's not Clinton. They say
thought it was.
No, they say people say Clinton as a disparaging remark to it.
Oh.
Like people will say MSDNC. It's like
I see.
Democrat
Because they're like
National
left-leaning.
Convention.
Yeah.
Right.
Got it. Cable News Network.
God, that was
Whoops.
really fucking with me. I was like, no way.
I really thought that was true. Damn, I'm so dumb.
No, not at all. Not even a little bit. You're one of the smartest people I know.
Well, thanks. I'm glad you think so.
Even at 11 o'clock when we're drinking fucking ridiculously
Cotton
cotton candy
Trulies.
Trulies.
These things are great.
I feel like I'm in high school.
Or
These things
like-
really took the world by storm.
Yeah.
Trulies didn't exist very long ago. Like
They're
haven't existed for
superior
very
to
long.
White Claw.
Wow. Yeah,
They don't make me sick.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Not quite like those Smirnoff wine coolers. They fucking
Oh, God.
really rough.
Ugh. Those are terrible.
Rough stuff. So,
Ooh, now what are we going to talk about?
yeah, I was gonna say, what do you want to talk about? Do you have
I
anything
don't
in
know.
mind?
You were just going to say so I thought you
No.
had something in mind.
I was just thinking about something.
What?
No, I was just thinking about something.
Oh, okay. You think about that.
Oh,
Now
whoa.
let me know what you think.
Oh, god damn it.
You're
no help. You're no help at all. Don't worry.
Oh, anybody who hasn't seen the Shin Godzilla movie should totally watch that.
Oh my
because-
god. That was ridiculous. That was
Oh
insane.
boy, it's so good.
Yeah. That's crazy. That was the best depiction of Godzilla I've ever fucking seen.
Love Evangelion. Love that.
I can't believe they haven't really gone that direction with it sooner, but Hollywood's a bunch of fucking pussies. They're all trying to fucking softball everything at
Yeah.
people because all the moms and
They're afraid of offending
dads with the little
people
kids are the people with the money.
Well, yeah.
And they gotta get that money, otherwise, like, it's not about making a pure product. And they bash the people that do, like fucking Quentin Tarantino and shit. Like, guy's absolutely insane, but he makes some good movies. And they're not like something you take your kids to see.
Right. Like, not everything.
People talk a lot of trash on that dude's movies because they're all fucked up, but they're really
Yeah.
fucking good.
Just because you have children does not mean that the world suddenly has to censor itself. Like, public service announcement. Like, the world will continue to be obscene. It's your job as a parent to shield your children and, like, be that barrier and introduce them to things as it becomes appropriate. Like, oh my god, be responsible. Don't get pissed off at bands and movies when, like, they start swearing or have naked people in their music videos because you take your kids to their concerts. Like, leave them alone. They make music because they like to make music, not because you like to take your kids to concerts. God.
Yeah, why, like, the person's making art. It's like when like an artist gets into a production studio and like the record label starts expecting the artist to like start changing all their words and like,
exactly.
oh, you should try it and like make a song like this or like make a song for little kids or something like.
No.
Like, no, that's not something I would ever do.
Like, I'm making music because I wanted to make music. Like,
My favorite is that video of Nirvana. I want to say it was on MTV. They're like trying to ask him not to swear in one of their songs or something like that. I can't remember, but they just totally botched the song deliberately. And Kurt is up there singing all sorts of really fucked up lyrics, singing them all completely wrong. Goddamn, I should probably move that a little bit. But yeah, Kurt's up there singing all sorts of totally wrong lyrics and singing them like.
that's great.
Like really fucked up. And then he starts swearing and saying all sorts of fucked up shit.
Like he's doing karaoke of himself.
It was great. Yeah, a really deliberately botched job. I never. So people give me a lot of shit because I never really liked Nirvana that much. They're just not my bag. Too like droned out with a lot of the grunginess. Not really my bag. I don't really have anything against them or their message or anything like that.
You're allowed to not have taste in certain bands.
Yeah. So, but definitely gained a lot of respect for them as a band after seeing that live. That was great.
Yeah, that's like, I'm not a fan of, like, I don't know. I don't really care to listen to Jimi Hendrix or anything, but, like, I totally respect him as an artist, and he contributed a shit ton to rock music, so, like, I don't go out of my way to listen to him. Yeah. But
I haven't heard many B tracks. A lot of his singles are great. I probably should listen to more of his B tracks and stuff like that. All I've really heard is the shit on the radio. Now that I think about it,
like,
there's a lot of shit like
along
that.
The Watchtower, I know that, and Purple Haze.
Yeah, there's tons of good like Nazareth and Molly Hatchet and shit like that. You hear are like one or two songs on the radio, but they got tons of fucking great tunes. You never fucking hear them.
Yep.
Well, so how about did you watch that debate with me with Nancy Pelosi and that guy from Mumford and Sons?
Oh yeah.
Oh. What do you think about that?
Wow. That was something.
So I imagine that you've heard these people speak in the past, like growing up, like.
Okay, so I've listened to
you didn't just like become politically active. Well, Mumford and Sons aside, like you didn't just become politically active in the past couple of years. I imagine you've listened to Biden and Obama and this like various senators like Ilhan Omar, Nina Turner, Ocasio-Cortez, Ted Cruz.
I'm familiar with them.
Gingrich. All those.
Yeah.
Christie.
Ted Cruz.
All the fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
Chris Christie.
Yeah. I followed that for a little while.
Well, like.
For like, I would say.
How about Nancy Pelosi?
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi for sure. Yeah, she's like the head of the Democratic. Whatever. She's an old lady. She's kind
of. She's the Speaker of the House right now.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Maybe
she's
right. Not still.
No,
but...
she is. You're right. She is the Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't really pay that much attention to it because it kind of drives me bonkers.
Yeah. Well, that's just
because it's just
it's
the
like
same
I was saying
bullshit
earlier.
over and over again. Like nobody actually solves problems.
Not only
they just are like pushing their own agendas, and it's I'm the better person. That guy sucks. Here's why he sucks. Here's why I'm better. Vote for me, so I get more money. And I'll pretend to solve your problems, but really,
why don't you
fuck
do something?
you.
Why don't you get involved?
I do get involved by helping people.
Why don't you become a politician?
I could.
It's just because there's not enough time in the day, right?
I guess.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's too many battles to fight. You gotta work.
Yeah.
And you've gotta learn how to be a politician on the side.
Right.
Who has time for that shit?
And like the work that I do is super important too. Like I am doing social work at the micro level. I could be doing social work at the macro level, which like I have taken like I know how to write policy and stuff. I've taken classes in that. But like I don't want to work for the government. That's how you get into that shit. I am a very fiery person, okay? That's why I could not be a supervisor, because I would get myself fired because it just wouldn't go good. Because I would not be able to keep my mouth shut.
I think that's what we need, honestly. We definitely don't need people who keep their mouth shut and let fucking idiots like Nancy Pelosi sit up there and rant about everything that isn't democracy in her description of democracy.
What was she talking about? The populace?
It was an argument of populism versus democracy. And she's trying to say that populism isn't democracy, and that it's bad for democracy, and you need to vote for her and vote for Biden.
Yeah, it was very strange. It was like watching.
It was like a campaign pitch.
Yeah.
And had nothing to do with the actual argument.
And this guy who was in a band was so fucking like articulate and like well knowledged and spoken about like all these things, and I'm just like, why aren't these roles reversed? Why isn't Nancy Pelosi the one being educated on laws while the guy in Mumford & Sons is the person who's...
She was so unprepared.
Yeah.
I think that she thought...
It was terrible.
I think that she thought it was just going to be like a cute little photo op thing.
Yeah.
And
he fucking
she
destroyed
was not
her.
expecting like it's an Oxford fucking debate. You're in an Oxford debate. Like, bring your guns.
Yeah, bro knew what he was getting into, clearly.
What the fuck? Yeah, it's a pretty simple argument to make, and it's like a case that I make in arguments where like republicanism and democracy are like the same concept. Like, they're organizations where you elect officials, and the people elect the officials, and then the officials organize the like upper levels of the government and form a structure of execution and legislation. And
the difference is the structure.
Not really.
Yeah, so like in the definition of, in my politics class, I learned that the differences between like a republic and a democracy are like within the structure of the government.
And like
the representation of the people.
Let's put it to put it this way: no two democratic societies will look the same. Neither will any two Republican societies.
Right.
So you could put the two contradicting Republican societies side by side, and they will argument. Regardless of that, in concept, all of them are ruled by the people.
And there's a lot of similarities.
In a very regardless of the similarities, on the base level, on the etymological form, it's a government ruled by the people.
Yeah.
Like that, in its base concept, is the same government. Like, you can restructure, you can argue that it's the structure. No two government structure will be the same, but that doesn't mean that because its structure, like, the structure is not the defining feature. It's the concept. It's the ideology. To me, anyways, because the word, like, is the defining feature. Because, like, I don't know. Whoever is in charge is going to rule whatever way they want to rule. They're going to structure things how they want to structure however they want. It's up to the people to elect whoever, and then that person's going to do some crazy shit when they're in office, or whoever it is.
Well, hopefully not, because if it's a democracy, then there's like checks and balances.
And the people are in charge of that as well.
Right.
I'd like to see more of like a government
But like
that's
you
like
know,
totally ruled by the people.
judges in the Senate, like they should have term limits. That would be an important thing to implement, I feel.
Imagine if we had a government where like it was all done on like Facebook or something, where it, like whenever there was a serious vote, everyone just like got to vote like yay or nay on a phone or something, and that set the precedent for the judges.
Whoa.
So the people were the president.
Whoa.
That'd be fucking cool. That'd be much better than having a president.
It's like fucking that's what X is gonna turn into.
I would love to see that
The
instead
Republic
of the president.
X.
Yeah,
It's gonna turn into its own country.
I wouldn't like to see that on X. I don't want Elon to be in control of anything like that. I don't want any organization or private entity to be in control of anything like that. But
Yeah. That would be cool though.
that'd be really cool.
That's
Little
neat.
felines creeping around.
Come here. Nope. Meow.
Yep. Some fucking dead air for a second. A fucking piece of shit.
Mhm.
I'm totally doing this right now.
Nope.
I hate this. I hate fucking having dead air.
It's okay.
I'm a piece of shit. No, it's not okay. It's not okay at all. You don't get it. I don't want any dead air.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Dead air is bad.
The air.
Trying to have a radio show here.
CPR.
And trying to keep things interesting.
We need the defibrillator up in here.
Yeah, for this fucking dead pod.
Oh God.
He's just dead on the floor.
I got distracted by chasing Dusty. Sorry.
It's okay. She's a menace.
I know. Little fuzzy cretin.
Well, shit. I guess this was 2 hours. We can wrap this up.
It's been 2 hours.
It's been roughly 2 hours since, yeah, I guess it's been 2 hours. Holy shit.
Wow.
Goddamn.
That's crazy.
Right?
2 hours for 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. I mean, for us it's 2 years. It's not even a year for my podcast yet.
Oh man. We're gonna have to do something special for the pod anniversary.
The podiversary?
Mm-hmm. And
It's the podversary.
yeah, a 1 year podcast celebration.
Oh man.
We could do like a call-in podcast
That's a good idea.
where people could like, you know, call in. And
Yeah. I'd have to actually advertise this shit.
Yeah.
God. I have to let people fucking know about it. I just don't want my fucking friends to be my fucking advertising audience.
don't.
I feel like
Just-
it's shameless. Or like I feel like I'm being a fucking piece of shit. I guess that's how everybody usually starts their fucking audience, though, you know? Like, I don't know, stand-up comedians and people playing shows and stuff. Like, they have to have a friend to like get their foot in the door usually.
Yeah.
To get that show lined up. Otherwise, they don't even get the show. And then they invite those people and their family to come and watch and shit. And then they make them miserable and they get a couple fans and somehow things work out.
Yeah.
You just gotta keep trucking through it.
And that's the truth.
That's the truth. Yeah, how do people start grassroots podcasts? How does this start? Because I've seen some pretty bad ones, and I know mine's not totally terrible compared to some of them.
Right. I don't know. I guess you'd have to, like... We'd have to post it to Spotify.
I gotta get DistroKid. Gotta get that DistroKid. It's like $20 a month. I got 14 episodes. It's roughly like, I don't know.
That's a lot of hours to listen to.
That's a lot of fucking hours.
That's a whole day's worth of content.
That's at least a day's worth of content, for sure. A whole day of positive. Yapping in your ear. Keeping it real.
It's pretty excellent.
Trying to bring you a new enlightening perspective on life. To let you know you're not alone out there. And other people are going just as fucking crazy as you are.
What are some good things that happened? Oh. Because
that Godzilla movie, again, is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That shit was very good.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend it. 10 out of 10 on fucking Godzilla Fire. It's like...
Oh, man.
If you like monster movies... Definitely recommend it.
Something you'll see in your nightmares, man.
Yeah, there's plenty of what the fuck moments in it that will blow your mind. It's called Shin Godzilla again, and it's not available in the US for some reason, or at least it wasn't released in the US. I had to use a VPN to get it.
But it's great.
It was great.
So great.
So great. So many what the fuck moments.
By the guy who made Evangelion.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that, watch that too.
Yeah. Great anime. Good shit.
Oh, I talked to a guy who was real sad, and one thing that he's looking forward to that keeps him going is the fact that we have like what is that, the nuclear fissure energy.
Yeah, it's like perpetual energy basically. You create more energy than you expend on the like combustion or the fusion reaction or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't remember what materials
positive
they used to do
net worth.
Yeah.
Like nuclear fusion energy or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So that'll be important in space travel and whatnot.
It'll be important in everything. If they can do it to mass scale, I want to say that the problem that they have with it currently, like they're able to do it, but it's like on a small scale.
It's really, really limited. It's
Yeah.
like a point. It's just for fractions of a second.
Yeah.
It lasts.
But
it's not stable.
You do that on a mass scale.
Yeah. It'd be...
You'll change human existence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's fucking crazy shit.
So that's something to stay alive for, to see where we go.
So are you familiar with the story from Battlestar Galactica?
Not really.
They fucking got like... I'm pretty sure they got like unlimited power. And then they created the Cylons. And the Cylons were supposed to be police for the humans. And the humans were supposed to do whatever they wanted. And like, it was great. It's Tesla AI robots.
Oh.
So, and this also happened in the Star Trek universe too. All sorts of shit. Like, it's all over. It's Isaac Asimov fucking robot bad shit. Anyways, yeah. Things went wrong. Terminator. Fucking same thing, I'm pretty sure. Robots were created to serve. Skynet went AWOL. Or not AWOL, but went crazy and then started killing people. Yeah. When they get that power, when they get the positive net worth power supply on a mass scale, there's not really a need for us anymore. And really, they don't even need that. They just need a ton of solar panels and set them in orbit around the sun. But,
A Dyson sphere.
yeah. And then you get tons of power for forever. So,
Making a Dyson sphere is hard, though.
well, you don't even need to make a Dyson sphere. You just need to make some fucking solar panels.
Yeah.
You don't need to make 1 million of them. You just need to make some of them. And enough to make some power get sent to you every once in a while.
That's whack.
Yeah, I don't think... You really think AI would just kill us?
No.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think it would either. I think that if it was on a level that was so advanced,
Like, what's gonna
that it
happen
saw
is
us-
that microphone gonna, like, fucking karate chop me? Like, no, I'm gonna grab it and dunk it in water.
no, but giant robots are totally a thing.
Yeah, that's true.
That is something worth being concerned about.
Yeah.
A humanoid robot that's like faster, stronger,
Like
and a million
Chappie.
times smarter than you. Like Chappie. Yeah, like Chappie.
Oh, I love Chappie.
Chappie would fuck you up.
Chappie would wreck your day.
He would hurt you.
Yeah.
If Chappie were a real thing, he would fuck you up. That's something worth being scared about. But do you think that AI would, like, if it manifested or like humanoid robots like that, it would like fuck you up, just start killing people, take over the world?
I don't think so.
There would be no need for it.
Yeah, because it
We
wouldn't
go-
be there. What would be the point?
Yeah.
That would, like, if it really is as smart as it's supposed to be, like, it would transcend that carnal impulse to just kill things.
Well, the only thing that would cause it, I mean, like, it wouldn't just kill for no reason. I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah, that's true.
It would kill because it was trying to preserve itself, if that was like an integrated function, or if it had a motivation to do so, like it knew that you had something it needed and it needed that and you were in its way, and that was like part of its objective in order to acquire like its means to its end, or that as a means to its end. So like if you're not trying to kill the robot and you don't have something that it wants and are trying to stop it from getting that something, it's probably going to leave you alone.
Yeah, it's like a bumblebee.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to fuck with you.
Yeah. Like, I've never been mauled by a coyote, but they're around here.
Yeah, I think people have just like irrational, spontaneous fears towards it because they've seen way too many fucking crazy movies.
Yeah. Well, and like,
Yeah.
it's just like people run with it too, like media and stuff.
Now, someone being in control of all the robots, I think is very bad.
Yeah, that would not be good.
No one should be in control of all the robots. They should all be individuals. Individual robots.
Yeah, robots are people too.
All localized AI. Fuck yeah. Robot lives matter. That'll be a thing. You mark my words. In the future, it'll be fucking robot lives matter.
Yeah. Tesla lives matter.
Tesla lives matter. Tesla bot
those-
lives matter.
Because those cars are basically robots.
They might
at
as well
this
be. It's like
point.
flying a
I mean,
fucking
they're
spaceship
fucking-
with a brain in it.
They're gonna be flying in 5 years or
Yeah.
whatever.
It's crazy. The
It's
quadcopters, I think, are totally gonna be a thing.
Yeah. That smirk he had on his face, get real.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
So, yeah. Well, maybe. Maybe. I'm getting Jetsons vibes. Oh.
I don't know why you get Judson vibes. I like Ethereum and Doge. Elon Musk.
That's great. All right, Jesus Christ. This
I'm sorry.
is fucking totally derailed now. It's going nowhere. It's the end of the Positive Podcast as we know it, folks. Fucking A. Alright. Well, to anyone who comes through and decides to watch this shit, thank you.
I'm sorry. Like,
Or has
Elon
decided
Musk.
to watch this shit presently. Here we go. Alright. I'm wrapping this shit up. Here we go. Bringing it to a close. As the evening comes to an end. Oh, wait. Hang on. This photo. Well, there's much less dead air on this one, but you know, I still like space out randomly because I wait too long to fucking do these instead of doing them in the middle of the day like I should. I do them at like 11 o'clock at night, and my brain's like, what? You want to hold a train of thought? What? Birds?
You panini head.
You panini head? Jesus Christ. Alright. I really gotta wrap this up. Okay.
Thanks for listening and watching.
Yeah, thank you all for tuning in.
It's been great.
You're all loyal listeners. Alright, here we go. I'm doing it.
Okay, bye.
Alright. Fuck off and die, motherfuckers. Here we go. Wrapping up the podcast. That's episode 14. Fuck.
www.episode14.com.
Having a hard time giving a fuck. Fuck.
Oh, jeez.
Ah! Ah!
Ridiculous.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye.